In 16th century London, two boys born on the same day, poor Tom Canty and Prince Edward, are strikingly similar in appearance. After a chance meeting at Westminster Palace, they swap clothes for a lark, but a guard mistakes Edward for the beggar, throwing him out. Edward's experience outside the palace walls exposes him to the harsh realities of street life and poverty, while Tom, dressed as the prince, finds himself struggling to navigate royal duties and prove his true identity, eventually becoming King of England. He is saved by the kind knight Miles Hendon, who helps him prove his identity at the moment of his impending coronation, leading to Edward's rightful ascension to the throne, and Tom being made chief counselor. The unexpected encounter in London. On a single day in 1547, two boys were born: Edward, the son of King Henry VIII, and Tom, a poor boy from awful court. Edward was raised in immense luxury. Surrounded by servants and tutors, his every need met within the opulent walls of the royal palace. In stark contrast, Tom endured extreme poverty, living in a squalid hovel with his abusive father John Canty, who often beat him and forced him to beg. Despite his grim reality, Tom was a dreamer, his imagination fueled by tales of royalty. He often dreamed of being a prince, and one day, his wanderings led him to the glittering Westminster Palace, the very embodiment of his dream world. He stood outside its gates, gazing in awe at the grandeur within. A case of mistaken identity. While gazing at the palace, Prince Edward, who happened to be strolling in the courtyard, noticed the ragged boy outside. Curious about Tom's life and clothes, the young prince beckoned him inside. Shielded from the public eye within the prince's private chambers, the two boys talked, and to their mutual astonishment, they discovered they were identical in appearance. A mischievous idea sparked in the prince's mind. For fun, they decided to swap clothes. Prince Edward, desiring a brief, thrilling taste of life on the streets, donned Tom's tattered rags. He stepped out of the palace, intending to return shortly, but a palace guard immediately mistook him for the beggar Tom. Ignoring his protests and claims of being the prince, the guard violently ejected him from the grounds, casting the true heir to the throne into the harsh, unforgiving world of London's underbelly. Two worlds, one mistake. Now dressed in rags, Prince Edward found himself completely alone and at the mercy of a world he never knew existed. His royal pronouncements were met with ridicule and scorn. He soon encountered Tom's cruel father, John Canty, who, believing him to be his errant son, dragged him back to awful court. There, the prince was subjected to the harsh realities of London streets, forced to beg and witness unimaginable suffering, a stark and brutal contrast to his privileged upbringing. He managed to escape the clutches of Canty and his thieving companions, embarking on a perilous journey through the English countryside. During his ordeal, he eventually met a kindly, disoriented soldier named Miles Hendon. Though initially skeptical of the boy's claims to be the Prince of Wales, Hendon was moved by his plight and noble bearing. He believed his story, and taking him under his protection, set out to help him reclaim his rightful place. Meanwhile, Tom, now trapped within the palace walls in the prince's attire, found it impossible to convince the palace staff of his true identity. His frantic declarations that he was just a poor boy from awful court were dismissed as a sudden and tragic madness that had afflicted the prince. The guards and servants, while perplexed by his strange behavior and lack of royal etiquette, treated him with the deference due to his station. His situation grew even more dire with the sudden death of the old king, Henry VIII. As the court mourned, preparations began for the new king's coronation. Tom was set to be crowned King of England, a terrifying prospect for a boy who knew he wasn't the rightful heir and feared being exposed as an imposter at any moment. The revelation, the climactic moment, arrived on the day of the coronation. The grand ceremony was underway in Westminster Abbey, and the Archbishop of Canterbury was about to place the crown upon Tom's head. At that precise instant, a commotion erupted at the back of the hall. A disheveled but determined Miles Hendon pushed his way through the crowd, followed by a boy in rags who loudly proclaimed himself the true king. The guards tried to seize him, but Tom, seeing his doppelganger, commanded them to halt. The court was thrown into confusion. To settle the matter, Edward, with the royal seal as irrefutable proof of his identity, which he had hidden before swapping clothes, declared himself the real prince by revealing its location. Tom confirmed Edward's story, explaining the entire misadventure. The confusion was finally resolved, and the true heir was recognized. A just and merciful outcome, with his identity confirmed, Prince Edward was crowned King Edward VI of England. His harrowing experience on the streets had fostered a deep and genuine understanding and compassion for the poor and the oppressed. He ruled with a fairness and mercy previously unknown, becoming a beloved monarch. True to his noble character, he did not punish Tom, but instead made him his trusted chief advisor, valuing the wisdom he had gained. The loyal Miles Hendon was rewarded with the title of Earl and Lands for his unwavering support. The boys, having learned profound and unforgettable lessons from living each other's lives, continued to serve England with wisdom and fairness, forever bound by their extraordinary shared experience.